Well, good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? Probably a little bit less tired than me. I'll be honest. Screw those games in the middle of the night. Fair play to all the international Reds. But yeah, jumping on camera after a couple of hours sleep is not exactly high on my to-do list right now. But we're here. We're here at 10 a.m. every morning, Monday to Friday, and we'll be discussing last night's game with Borussia Dortmund, the 3-2 defeat. We'll speak about Man United announcing a new 10-year extension to the Adidas contract. We'll speak about Rasmus Hojlund and the signing of him, the medical, what's going to be happening this week. We'll speak about Sofyan Amrabat. We'll speak about Fred and Maguire and Henderson and Kobe Mainu and Mason Greenwood and the preseason tour. And, geez, there's about a million things we're going to be speaking about. It's always busy, as is the case with Manchester United every single day. And I will try my best to cover it as much as I can. Or you're saying, welcome to our world, struggling the next day. I know, you do struggle the next day, but you don't go on camera speaking to thousands of people, trying to run through about 40 things in your head at the same time. Anyway, give me some sympathy, people. But who's here from the member gang? Let's have a look. Matthew Crew, good morning to you. We've got Saeed. We've got Seth Benedict. We've got Mo Salad, Rob Taylor. Good morning to you. Kieran, Chris, and Stephen. Carl, you're there. Andy, Pete K. Michael Stoner, Spence92. Good morning to everyone who's on Facebook. Let's have a look. We've got Wayne Reason. We've got Blessed. We've got Kang. We've got Kieran Watson. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for all tuning in. Who else stayed up and watched it then last night? You can let me know in the comments. But the thing I want to start with today, today is the final day for this big prize for the raffle. Right. Tomorrow, I'm going to be announcing the winner of £700 worth of vouchers towards your summer holiday in August for either you and your family, you and your girlfriend, whoever it is. 700 quid, and someone's going to win it for only £1. £1 a ticket. Make sure you grab yours. You should. You'll have a really good chance of winning this month, actually. But we can go. I'm going to speak about the game. But I want to ask your opinion on how significant you think this is. How significant do you think this is? Manchester United have just announced, what was it? Oh, about an hour ago now. Maybe not just announced. Pretty much. They've announced the extension of the Adidas partnership for another 10 years. A little bit of detail on how much that's worth for Manchester United is this. Manchester United's 10-year... I mean, that's an absolutely horrendous comment there. Who's left that one out? You're going to get called out here. You bastard. It's annoying. It's almost like I've hardly had any sleep. I hate those bags under the eyes. You bastard. Oh, yeah, I've just said that twice. Sorry for any kids watching, but yeah, that caught me out because I'm very aware of them, dude. United's 10-year agreement with Adidas is said to be the biggest in Premier League history. The deal is worth £90 million per season, a significant increase on the current deal, which I think was worth £75 million a season. I can't remember. United have secured certainty around their single biggest source of revenue for the next decade. What's your opinion on this? And now, I'll be honest, I don't really care about the opinion of whether you like Adidas kits or not, because I think that's completely irrelevant to what this could mean. Because, of course, we're in the midst of a takeover. And that's why I'm asking whether you think this is significant. At a time when the Glazers are still considering whether to sell to Sheikh Jassim or sell to Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, or whether to stay and somehow find minority investment. To sign a deal like this is quite a major thing to do. It's a decision which now affects the next 10 years. Do you think it points towards the fact that they're staying, or do you think, yeah, I just want to know your opinion on it, because I don't think definitively it means anything either way. I don't think this being announced guarantees that the Glazers are not selling. Right, but it's an interesting one. Inez, you think it means you think it? Well, you feel that they're going to be staying, and I know that everyone's got that fear, and I do have part of that fear. But every time I let myself get worried about that, I take a look at the numbers again and I just go, it just doesn't match up. They need such big investment. Far more than that. David, you're saying no, it's good business. I mean, look, it's good business for Manchester United, despite the averageness of our last X amount of years. We've managed to increase that Adidas partnership to get the biggest in Premier League history. I suppose that in itself is quite impressive. Oh, look at that. Dave currently, you joined as a member. I think I've seen your name before. And was it Nathan Fleming at the start of the show? You've been up. You've not been to sleep, says Dave. Well, I would love a nap later. Naps need to come back into adult life. It's great. I'm Potato and Chris Diet, though. How you doing, Chris? And I'm Potato. Gifting 5 memberships each. They're going to be a little tiny, just tickling the gong today. Just tickling. My ears can't take it. My ears can't take it. I don't know. I don't think this is something to... I don't know, actually. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll be completely honest. Jonesy, you're saying thought the gong was being replaced last week. No, the gong is not being replaced just yet. The gong is a while off being replaced. That will be replaced when we get the new software coming up. But I've got about 400 million things going on at this moment in time. So the software is going to have to wait. Owen, nice to see you there joining as a member there, dude, as well. Mr. DeWinky, Sam, the software is taking far too long. It's unbelievable, really, when you're running a one-man ship, how long things can take. Be patient. Don't be rude. And don't make me angry, because that just makes me angry. People, it's taking too long. Jeez, man. Talk about grateful people. Wow. That's why I work on it then. I'll just dash it to the side. Yeah. I reckon I'm a bit tetchy this morning. Well, I'm looking forward to getting some sleep later. Oh, man, look at that. See, you just gifted 5 memberships. Is that so I can... Is that so I can get some, like... I need to get a partnership with Estee Lauder so I can get some stuff under the eyes. That'll be funny. There's a super chat there from someone. Let me read this one out. Daniel Haynes saying, I'm still at my bachelor party in Vegas. What are you doing on your phone on your bachelor party in Vegas? Go and have a good time, my friend. Sancho and Onana look good. Can't wait for the season to start. Let's speak about the game. All right. What was your reaction? See, Billington, you're grumpy today. I know I'm grumpy. I'm aware I'm grumpy. I'm grumpy as hell. What did you think about the game yesterday? I was mega surprised with the starting 11. That caught me off guard. I didn't think that. I mean, look, normally when you go through a preseason, as you get towards the end of the preseason, instead of playing 45 minutes and you switch in your team every time, you normally play some players for 60 minutes, some get the full 90. But instead, Erik ten Hag just flipped it and just played his second string. With Jadon Sancho was in the team. Who else in the first team? Can't remember who else. But yeah, it was a surprising starting 11. And I'll be totally honest. Ten Hag, the main takeaway from that game yesterday, if you're going to look at like the big overall points, number one, defensive howlers, like really bad individual errors in that game. Really bad individual errors in that game that cost us defensively. Onana was wicked. Jadon Sancho, I really enjoyed watching him. Pellistri also enjoyed watching him too. But I think that the main takeaway from that game for Erik ten Hag is going to be how poor the defensive errors were. Because if United, largely for the first 40 minutes, were actually very good. Played some good football. Deleu's goal was excellent. We were kind of in control. Dortmund really didn't threaten us at all. And then out of nowhere in the last like 5 minutes of that first half, we just made just 2 massive errors. I think the first one was down the left-hand side. It was Brandon Williams. Got caught in possession, found out. They just kind of drifted through. Ball dropped across into the box and Dortmund scored. And then, what is it, 30 seconds after the restart? Something like that. It was about a minute later. Lindelof, trying to play out from the back with the ball, just really chose the wrong option. Brandon Williams was in acres of space. but Lindelof tried to cut inside and his ball just went astray, went straight to Dortmund. They passed it through and they scored 2 within a minute. This is what Erik ten Hag said about the game after. He said, look, overall the tour, it was a good tour, but you want to finish with a good performance. And there was only 60 minutes that I was pleased with, not with the goals we conceded, because the first one was poor defending and the second one was poor in the build-up. And he went into a bit more detail. He said, that's not us. We've got to keep control, keep responsibility on the ball. And it was the same for the 3-2. That can't happen. It's unforgivable, even if it's a friendly. And he said the last half an hour, it was bad. A poor performance. They didn't follow the rules at all. Not in pressing, not in building up, or when attacking. There were 11 individuals on the pitch. That wasn't good at all. And what Erik ten Hag is saying here, where is it? There. No, wrong one. Is it this one? Yeah. The last half an hour, it was a bad performance. The last half an hour was when the first team was on. Man United's second string played better overall in that game than Man United's first team did, which was a little bit worrying. I personally wouldn't look too much into the results of preseason. I mean, come on, people. You know you shouldn't be looking into the results. Hey, if we were looking into the results, what should have happened against Brighton and Brentford last year? I think we won like 3. We drew 1. We won the Bangkok Century Cup last preseason, and it meant sweet FA. I think there's been positives from the results. There's also been negatives. Real Madrid were just too good for us. Arsenal, that was a wicked game. I enjoyed that. Lyon and Leeds, I think we've had some good positives there. We started off the preseason with 3 wins, and then we've ended with 3 defeats. Isn't that what it is? Is that 3 wins? And then, 3 defeats if you can include Wrexham. I'm going to go down and read a few of your comments out. There's a super chat, and I think I might have missed some gifted memberships there. Let me make sure I don't miss these. Man, I did as well. Look at that. JVD and Spence. Honestly, if you've only just come into this community, first of all, I apologize for how grumpy I am today. Let me off. All right. Number 2, JVD and Spence. They really are part of the most generous community in the world. I think so. Legends, all of you. I'm going to go down and read a few of your comments now, because I don't know, I was a bit worried about it. What are you saying? Sean, you're saying, do you think he's worried about any players getting injured? That's why he's mixing up a lot. I'm presuming that Erik ten Hag must be happy enough with the fitness of quite a few of his players to be able to start that second string in this game. Otherwise, they would have needed it for their fitness. I think he would have just been annoyed with the sloppiness of the mistakes. Really quite annoyed. If we're looking at every time we watch Onana now, for the first, I don't know, I reckon probably for the first 6 months of Onana being United's first choice goalkeeper, every time you watch him, it's just going to stand out like a sore thumb in the right way. Because you'd be like, wow, I've not seen a United goalkeeper play like this for 12 years, because we haven't. So he's really going to stand out. And then we'll kind of settle and it will just become the norm. But again, yesterday, when Onana came on in that second half, just all the aspects of his game. Really good under pressure. Lovely distribution. How good were those 2 kicks? I think he did one from his hands and one from the deck. One was over to Bruno and one was to Rashford. Rashford one was in the 94th minute. Pinpoint 60-yard passing. Distribution, 10 out of 10. But it was that photo there, and it was that moment there that probably people are going to be speaking about most from Onana. Harry Maguire down the right-hand side, passed it to Christian Eriksen. It was a bad pass to Christian Eriksen. He was surrounded by 2 players. He had no real chance of getting out with the ball. Pass to him. Maguire gets dispossessed. No, Eriksen loses the ball. Comes in. Onana has to make a good save. And straight after that, he's sprinting out of his goal, shouting in Maguire's, not in his face, but shouting at Maguire for the mistake. And I'm not here isolating Maguire and picking on Maguire. I'm just saying it's good to see a goalkeeper that has that much confidence and that much ability to intimidate straight away. He ripped into him. Now, it could have been somebody else that made a mistake. It just happened to be Harry Maguire at that point in time. Lindelof made a massive mistake in the first half, and it led directly to a goal. But that's what you need to see from your goalkeeper, right? You need to see him have that sort of commanding presence. And that's it's not one of the biggest positives in the game. I suppose we lost 3-2. We're kind of scraping the barrel looking for positives anyway. What did you think about Onana's performance? What did you think about that? Let me read a couple of super chats out here. Don't want to miss these. And thank you very much, dude. What are you saying? What's most concerning is not having a full 11, getting a few consecutive games under their belt to get gelling and ready for the new season. It's odd. Yeah, it was odd. It caught me by surprise. We're going to have to presume that the 11 that starts against Lens at Old Trafford on Saturday is probably going to be the 11 that starts against Wolves the weekend after. Well, I suppose it depends on whether Hojlund's in time. Now, we're going to be speaking about Hojlund very soon. He's going to get through the game first, but it was a little bit odd. John, you're saying takeover. Haven't the Glazers suggested they are waiting for the two to respond with documentation and confirmation of their bids? What's that about? And surely that is way past, way down the line with that one. Surely all those confirmation of bids. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, John. I'll be honest. Jackie. Nice to see you there joining us, remember. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll try and give you a shout out. And Spence, thank you very much, dude. Shouts out to you, Sam, for still turning up at 10 a.m. and entertaining despite these Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm glad I don't have to do that again. Maybe next. Where's our preseason next season? Sod knows. It might go back to America, to be fair. Let me see what you're saying in the comments. Tom, you're saying you always need a nutter in goal, and that's where the Barthez comparisons will be fair. Because Barthez was somebody who just made you go, Fabian, what are you doing, mate? Just wait. You're loony. He was a bit loony. Yeah, you need to be a little bit upstairs. Like Schmeichel had a bit of that in him. Everybody does. Well, no, not everybody does, but I'd say the best goalkeepers do. Let me see what you're saying in the comments. What else are we saying down here? Everybody, can you stop commenting about how I look? I'm trying to read all your comments out. It's the absolute last thing I need to see. I just won't look at the comments then. What are we saying? Nana just showed us Maguire's not good enough. Not particularly. This, as I said, this isn't a witch hunt against Maguire. It's more a compliment to Onana controlling and commanding his defense. It could have been Luke Shaw that made that mistake. It might probably be Martinez at some point in the season, and Onana's going to steam out at him. But it's just the first example that we've seen of it, right? Who else we got to speak about? Jadon Sancho. Apparently, I've missed a couple of gongs? Oh no! Right, can someone let me know? And Alex, thank you very much for keeping me up to date on this, man. You're saying I missed it for Sean and Jack. Sean and Jack, and anybody else, I apologize. That's a good comment. Eat your Snickers. You turn into a right Roy Keane when you're hungry. Not hungry. I'm tired. Right, anyway, stop complaining, Sam. Right, what we got here? Jadon Sancho. What do you think about Jadon Sancho? Again, I think if we're looking for, type it in the comments. Go for a 1-2-3. Who do you think the three best players were from preseason? Who are the players that impressed you most on the preseason tour? Standing out straight away for me is probably Kobbie Mainoo. Jadon Sancho. But I think Pellistri earned some stripes. I think we should have a little conversation about Pellistri in a minute. Wan-Bissaka was quite good. Yeah, Kev, you're saying down there. Onana, I think, Onana really has impressed in the two games that he has played in. But yeah, that's the second preseason in a row where Sancho's been one of the standout players. Last preseason, it was Sancho and Martial. I remember that straight away. And I don't know whether he looks a little bit leaner. I don't know whether whatever it is with Jadon Sancho, he just seems sharper. He seems that step quicker. I mean, he definitely is quicker. Literally, his acceleration has improved massively. But yeah, Kobbie Mainoo. I'd probably go Kobbie Mainoo impressed me the most. Jadon Sancho, I'll go for number 2. And I think I'd probably go for Pellistri number 3. Have I got Pellistri up here next? Yeah, there he is. Now, this is a really curious one with Pellistri, right? Because I don't know whether he's going to be at Manchester United this season. Right? Let me explain this. I think Pellistri is good enough that he should be expected to play more than a random 45 minutes here or there in a cup game, occasionally, maybe. I think he's too good for that at this point in his career. He needs proper game time. Like pretty much every time I watch him, I'm impressed. How direct he is when he runs, but also how productive he is. He's not just direct and then loses it. I think he causes problems. He's a good player. I'll see what you're saying down here in the comments. Ofki, you're saying put him up against Anthony. Basil, you're saying loan Pellistri. Hannibal was decent to you. Hannibal had a good preseason tour. That's a fair comment there. Or you're saying Donny deserves a shout. I'll speak about Donny in a bit. He got 2 assists last night. I pointed that out in my match reaction. And you're saying he's done enough to start the season over Anthony. Really? No, I don't think he has. But Pellistri's part of this conversation. You need to have, at top level football, you need 2 strong players in every single position. No matter how good Hojlund might be, we still need another striker in that position. No matter how good Casemiro is on his day, we still need another good player in that position. The same goes for the right wing or the left wing. Left wing, you've probably got Rashford and Garnacho. Right wing, you've probably got, maybe that's what it's going to be. It'll be left wing, Garnacho and Rashford. Right wing, it will be Anthony and Pellistri. But where does Ahmad come into that conversation? And maybe it's a striker position or a false 9 position. You're looking at Hojlund with Sancho as the alternative. That might be what I'm going to be doing my sort of overall look at United's squad, the strength and depth. Probably next week, probably after the 2 games this weekend, because we can then have like a final look and a look at the predictions for the season, in the build up to the Wolves game. Game of Beans, you think Pellistri is better than Anthony? I'm not asking whether he is, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think both of them have real capabilities and they're kind of different styles of play. Pellistri is more of a classic winger, isn't he? Just pace, can go on the outside, can go on the inside. He's certainly got a bit more variety to his game than Anthony does at this moment in time. But saying that, Anthony scored yesterday. The standard kind of Anthony finish, but Anthony scored yesterday. Owen, how you doing, buddy? You were saying, hi, Sam, what position or positions would you like to see us strengthening still? Are you happy overall with the signings we made? If I could wave a magic wand, Owen, I would sign United another striker. And I would sign United another defensive midfielder. I think those 2 positions are positions where we might come unstuck across the course of the season. We're back in the Champions League. So, yeah, if I could, that's the 2 I would go for. Oh, look, there you go. I'm sorry, man. I think you sent the same super chat in twice. That might have been a mistake on your part, or maybe I just didn't read it out. Chetan, you're saying, oh, yeah, Anthony missed an open goal rebound on his right foot. I think I've got a better right foot than him. Delo's goal yesterday. I thought this was a really nice point. Quite a few of you in the comments have been asking about this. What was it? What was Ten Hag talking about? Forson got taken off, and Erik Ten Hag put his arm around his shoulder and he's sort of said, like, right, this is. He gave him 30-second chat at the side of the pitch, and you're thinking, what's he saying to him? Spoke about it after a game, and Ten Hag was saying that he was telling him if this game had VAR, you would have got sent off for that. Because he went, I think it was with Adeyemi. I think it was Adeyemi. Anyway, when two footballers just go like forehead to forehead, just pushing against each other. That's what happened. And then Forson pushed him. And Ten Hag was basically saying, look, I'm taking you off because you might get a second yellow. Don't need that. Also, if this was to happen in a Premier League game, you get sent off for that. You need to learn. Don't do that. It was just Ten Hag coaching. And it was just, I don't know, it's kind of cool to see him there doing that in real time, I suppose. Couple more super chats here. Let me read these out. Sam, how you doing, buddy? Once we get the fluidity in the front line, Anthony will thrive. Anthony, the one thing I don't think you can question, a compliment you can really give him, his ability to win the ball back. He's an absolute pest in the front press. And you can tell that was definitely an aspect of why Ten Hag signed him. Final product still isn't complete. It's because teams know how to go up against him. They just double up, and then he can't really do much. Jason, you're saying for yourself, Fred Maguire with McTominay, does that free up funds even after getting Amrabat? Shouldn't we have cash left? Is there really no way for Kane? Hey, man. There's part of me that will just say, what if? What if in the background? What if with Harry Kane? Of course, there will be funds, but there's been a big, as you can see on here, we've had some updates on this board. We've had some updates. And that man there. I'm so happy with myself. You might have seen on Twitter on Saturday. I was there dressed as Luigi. I was at my niece's birthday party, being a good uncle, because she was Mario. So I went Luigi. And then she washed the face paint off her face. And then I was just stuck looking like Luigi all day. So she kind of shafted me. But I'll let her off, because, she's only 4. So can't be too angry. Anyway, I was there, but I pre-recorded my Here We Go with in mind that it could be happening this weekend. And it did happen this weekend. At Manchester United, can we take a moment here? All grumpiness aside, can we take a moment here? Man United have signed a striker that isn't over 30. I mean, how many have we signed? Like, what is it, Matt? It was Weghorst wasn't over 30, but you can add Weghorst into this list. Just this list of strikers that make you go, what are you doing, United? Like Falcao and Odi Nagalo and Edinson Cavani and Wout Weghorst and, I mean, however many other strikers like that. We've signed an absolute, it's an unpolished diamond, but my, if he fulfills his potential, the signing of this man could be, and I think I said it, I don't think I said it, I know I said it in my reaction in that video. I said, honestly, you can take all your Galacticos types. Yeah, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, add that to the list. You can take all those Galactico type signings, like your Angel Di Maria's or your Alexis Sanchez, those sort of like already world-class stars that technically should come in ready-made and just thrive and shine, and they rarely do at Manchester United. My favorite types of signings are when we sign somebody who's got bags of potential and he blossoms at Manchester United. And that's where you fit your Rooney, your Ronaldo, your Evra, your Vidic, those types. Carrick as well, I think you can throw in that. I know he had a lot of promise. Not promise. He was very good at Spurs, but he became even better at Manchester United. Rasmus Hojlund. Now, first thing I will say, and we can all agree on this, is we've definitely overpaid. Right? We've definitely overpaid. I don't know what number I think we all, when we did the poll last week, we said as a community, we thought that 55 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons would be roughly enough to get the deal done. Now, spoiler alert, 64 million pounds, not 55 million euros. So that's 75. 75. So we were 20 million more than we all anticipated it being. Now, am I going to cry over that? No, I'm absolutely not. But I think compared to the 2 other deals, right? If you're looking at Mason Mount and Onana, I think quite a few people might say that we overpaid for Mason Mount, but I think United will feel very happy with how much we paid for Mason Mount. This Hojlund one, we've overpaid. Oh yeah, we've overpaid. But after doing the research, after reading up about him a lot more, after watching quite a few of his games, I'm so excited to watch him playing a United shirt. Like every single sort of, the reason I'm that excited is because I can absolutely see exactly where his profile fits in. It's not just Man United going out and signing Hojlund because we can't sign Kane. It really, like, Kane wouldn't have ticked a lot of the same boxes that Hojlund ticks in terms of building. If we're going to be the best transition team in the world, Harry Kane wouldn't have been that focal point up front in that transition team because he wouldn't have had the pace for it. He would have played slightly deeper and then playing the balls in behind for Rashford and It would have been a different style of attacking with Harry Kane. It probably would have been better because Harry Kane is so good. But Hojlund, do you think he's going to be making his debut on Saturday, right? A little bit more detail on what's going on here, right? Fabrizio Romano said that we're preparing to book the medical, and this was what? This was 2 days ago. Clubs will exchange documents in the next 24 to 48 hours. So this should be done now. There you go. Start preparing the documents and paperwork today. Already spoken to Ten Hag, and that was yesterday. I think it was overpriced, but do I have any sort of complaints about it? No, I do not think I do. And it's a very good point there as well, saying Hojlund's more likely to accept being a second striker if we do bring in another one. And I know it's a pipe dream, and it really is a pipe dream, but just imagine a little late move for Harry Kane. All right? Because if we take a look here, right, at these numbers, these are important. So far, we spent about 163 mil. These won't be perfectly accurate, right? But they're going to be rough numbers. 163 mil out, and we've made roughly 20 mil in terms of sales. So the total outlay is 140-ish million, right? We were always told that our budget this summer was in the vicinity of 120 to 150 million. So we're absolutely bang on right now if we made no more signings. We still want to sign another player, though, in Amrabat. And the conversation we're about to have now is all around the sales, because these numbers could completely and utterly change to the point where maybe we might still have enough to try and sneak something in with Harry Kane. Alex, thank you very much for Super Chat, dude. What are you saying? Hojlund deal was overpriced, but it makes a lot of sense when you look at the total package costs, lower wages and more times fees. I'm really excited to see him under Ten Hag with Rashford and when they interchange. I hope that debut comes in on Saturday. But I'll tell you what, I'm fuming. Because my only weekend off this summer is this weekend coming, because when I booked it, this festival I'm going to, there were no United games. And then United decided to announce 2 games in the space of 48 hours for the second time this preseason. And now Hojlund might make his debut. It's just not fair. But look, if all goes well with sales, it looks like this man is where Manchester United will be turning their attention to. This is what Fabrizio Romano has been saying on it here, right, with Amrabat. Plan has always been clear with United. Prioritise Hojlund and then start looking at Amrabat. No official verbal bid for Fiorentina. Amrabat's well informed. He's keen on the move. And now United can turn their attention to Amrabat. Now, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, we're seeing reports here that Saudi Arabia teams, Al Ali, are looking to sign Amrabat. Was there not a report that came out linking a Saudi Arabian team with a move for Onana as well? I swear that happened. Oh, let's be honest. I mean, they're signing everybody this summer anyway, so this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But we're seeing links with that. But with this man here, Amrabat, it all very much revolves around sales, which is what we're going to be talking about now. We're going to be speaking about Maguire. We're going to be speaking about Fred. We'll speak about Henderson. They're the 3 big ones so far. And Amrabat is definitely Amrabat is definitely a signing that I would like us to make. And there was a comment you just left there, which is probably going to be my lunchtime video today. And that's the thing. I completely agree with what Ant is saying down there. Ladies and gents, the season kicks off in 2 weeks, okay? The season kicks off in 2 weeks. And Man United have gone out and signed a new goalkeeper, a new striker, and a new midfielder. And have already identified who that 4th signing could be. We're currently in talks over the sales of Henderson. McTominay might leave, but I don't think he will. Maguire, West Ham are putting in bids. Fred. Our club is genuinely operating properly this summer in terms of what we can do within the limitations of being part of a takeover bid right now. United somehow have chosen this summer to really start operating properly. Things are going. Are we overpaying for certain things? Yeah, I reckon we are. But we're doing it, and we're doing it earlier, and that's a big improvement at our club. And that really is giving Ten Hag the ability to be ready for the season. And that's what my lunchtime video is going to be on. It really deserves credit. It's a massive indicator that this club is finally heading towards the right direction. But Hojlund, I'm so excited about. I really am. A couple of comments down here. What you're saying, Jarvis Cocker, maybe the actual Jarvis. I don't know. You're saying work rate and physicality are Hojlund's attributes. His pace might give him some goals and a turnover. Yeah, if you haven't watched the video that I did on his whole game, I would genuinely recommend it. It will give you real insight into the key characteristics and show you in-game examples of how Hojlund plays, and you can kind of close your eyes and think exactly where he would drop and he would fit in. I'm going to do a video this week on exactly where Hojlund fits in, and probably look at the patterns of play that might happen with him. Kudos to Matt Hargreaves and John Murto. I've still never done that video on Matt Hargreaves. I think maybe today is the day. Now, as I said, we can speak about Amrabat all we want, right? We can speak about him till we're blue in the face. But we need to start speaking about sales first. Tom, how you doing, buddy? You're saying if we overpay, why not in before preseason? Last summer, Man United overpaid, and we did it after we had lost to Brighton and Brentford. That was a reactionary one. This is overpaying, yes, but we're getting it done on our own sort of terms, rather than crap. We've lost. Let's try and sign players. Got Anthony gone and Casemiro in again. I'm not saying that we wouldn't have wanted those two players, but it was better late than never at that point. So at least it's early. I'm Potato. How you doing, buddy? It's a lot of money for the kid, but imagine we sell for 100 mil in 4 years, plus he stays for 10, ends up with 300 goals. It's a win-win either way. And that's if you sign players who are young like that, who can develop into absolute superstars. Yeah, Man United might have something like a Ronaldo situation on our hands, where Hojlund, after 4 or 5 years, 3, 4, I don't know, wins all the pots. Lovely. That'd be good. And then wants to go to Real Madrid, and then we sell him and we get upset about it. But it's so much better than signing established world-class stars. Just as a United fan, it's a massive preference I've got for the types of signings that I want to see us make. So that's why I will not be complaining about how much we're paying for him. Now, we move on and we talk about sales, right? Because the Amrabat one is kind of directly linked with Fred. Fabrizio Romano here saying that there's still no agreement between United and Galatasaray. Some other clubs that entered into the race. I think Fred's been linked with 2 Saudi clubs, Galatasaray and Fulham, I think, are the 4 clubs that he's been linked to. Fred will be leaving. I personally think it should be somewhere in the 10 to 20 million mark. I've told you, Fred as a signing would be a good signing for like 10 Premier League teams. He's a good player. Just not quite good enough for Manchester United in terms of what we're going for this season. That's why we've upgraded him to Mason Mount. But Fred leaving. Now, this, of course, is a big one. Harry Maguire. We've been waiting all summer, really, for... It hasn't always been West Ham. West Ham's been the club linked with Harry Maguire the most. And what was it? Last week, when they inquired to get him on loan, and United just slapped him outside the door. Said, get out, little backhander. They come back now with I wouldn't say derisory offer, but 20 million is not enough for Harry Maguire. In my opinion, Harry Maguire, absolute minimum is a £30 million signing. I honestly think he might go into, if he does join West Ham, he could go in and get the armband straight away. Maybe not. Could do that. What you're saying down here, I think I may have missed. We're going down here. Protosaurus Rex, I think you sent a little super chat. No? Oh, there you go. Look. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I missed a super chat up here, dude. Rex, you're saying, I was a bit disappointed that United's teammates didn't back Forsen up. I get you should be sent, but I sent off. But back your teammates, especially youngsters. I thought they did. I swear someone went over there straight away. Was it Lindelof? I swear someone got involved. But he was just learning. He was just learning. I think Forsen will be happy the fact that he went on the preseason tour and got a few appearances under his belt. Somebody there with a comment that caught me out. I think it was Eden. You were saying, why are we paying Galactico prices? There you go. We pay Galactico prices for a non-Galactico type signing in Rasmus Hojlund. And dude, that's more a reflection of the football market as it is, rather than what Manchester United are doing. The football market's gone mad. It goes more mad like every year. You think I can't get any more mad than that, and then all of a sudden it does. It's just, it's very strange. But Maguire, right? Kenny, you're saying 30 to 40 mil for Maguire. And that is exactly what I think he's worth. He is worth that much money. West Ham are just low balling. West Ham are chancing it, knowing full well that we would ideally like to sell Harry Maguire. So they're just trying to get something for a little bit cheaper than they know he's worth. Now, in the article, let's read through it. David Ornstein suggesting that they're not going to be sort of entering too much of a to and fro, right? David Moyes wants Maguire, but it is doubtful they will keep pushing given the size of his salary and also it being unclear about whether he would make the move. So apparently West Ham won't be going, like after we tried to sign Mason Mount for 40 million or whatever it was, and we knew full well that we would come back in with another bid. Maybe that isn't the case for Harry Maguire. And I always think about this in this situation, right? Like we can speak about what's best for Manchester United and what we think the right thing to do is, but surely Harry Maguire doesn't want to be at a club where he basically isn't wanted, where he won't be first choice, and where there's so much negative feeling and emotions. I don't know the right way to describe that part. But I would just think for his own personal well-being and own personal career that he would enjoy the concept of going to West Ham. Or maybe he feels he's too good and that is a step down for him. Or maybe he just wants to never let go of the wage packet, which he won't be able to replicate at any other football club. We don't know what the driving desires of Maguire are, but it's a weird one. It's a really, really weird one. We go up here. Alex. Man, everyone this morning, heroes. You're all so generous. 5 gifted memberships from Alex, indeed. Thank you so much. Oh, whoa. Gungshi. You put a big smile on my face just to match my big bags. 10 gifted memberships from the man that the gong is named after. Gongshi, indeed. Legend. Just to let everybody know, all the new perks that I've been working on, the announcement video is just getting prepped. Hopefully, should be able to give that to you by tomorrow. Definitely before I go away for the festival. And that's me. The new membership levels, they won't be going up in price. There'll just be more things for every single level. My way of giving more back to you as a community while I still work on the software in the background. And with the software, I think I've told you before, but I just made a bit of an error in doing it during the transfer window. I thought it'd be better to do it in the off season, but weirdly enough, the off season is 10 times busier than the actual season. So I'm going to have to delay that until the start of the new season, but that will be coming across the course of this season too. Cucumbers are the answer, says John. I might go and do that after. Although I've got to record the lunchtime video and then maybe I can have a nap this afternoon. But Harry Maguire to West Ham, I hope they come back in because that would be a good sale. Now, this one is an interesting one, right? This one is an interesting one. Dean Henderson to Forest has always felt like one of the guarantees. One of the guaranteed sales this summer is going to be Henderson to Forest. Now, the suggestion is here, maybe that's not the case, as Forest are looking also at Matt Turner and maybe signing him from Arsenal, because I found that really weird over the weekend. David Raya to Arsenal. I was like, that kind of caught me off guard. I think it'll be a good signing for them, but they've got Ramsdale as well, who I thought was probably been a pretty decent signing. A pretty decent signing since they got him. Quite a few of you down there telling me about Fabrizio and Greenwood. I've already got Greenwood coming up as a conversation point in a few minutes' time, and I've already got that covered. Fabrizio's just already saying what I've already got up here. But the delays around the Henderson move are apparently this. Man United are going to be selling him, loaning him with an obligation to buy. Because there's different types of loans, aren't there? Some have an obligation to buy. Some have an option to buy. Man United want to include an obligation for Forest to buy. And it's that trigger point. When does that obligation kick in? Nottingham Forest want that to kick in after he's played 30 games for them. And United are like, sod no. you can do that after he's played like 5 games for you. Basically means you're going to sign him. So you may as well just sign him on a permanent deal. And it's the to and fro over that. That sounds like that's the main delay over this situation. But Forest are just trying to swindle out of having to pay for Dean Henderson this summer, presumably. That's kind of what it looks like they're doing. And that's maybe why they're starting to look elsewhere. And I hope that's not the case because, yeah, we need to get rid of Dean Henderson. Absolutely need to get rid of him. Jonathan saying Arsenal mean business. You know, that's what I suppose what I said earlier. You want 2 top-class players in every position. It's just that's the hardest position to keep those 2 players happy. Having 2 top-class goalkeepers is difficult. And I don't know. Maybe Arsenal will do that. But look, this is what Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted on Mason Greenwood. Man United, and this is not an update, people. This was said. This was said, I believe, about 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I remember it. We all knew that we would find out what's going on with Mason Greenwood before Manchester United kicked off the season against Wolves. So this isn't an update from Fabrizio. It's not really an update from James Duckerada. It's something that we already knew, but it just brings that conversation back to the surface. So in the next 2 weeks, we will have what could be a complete conclusion on the Mason Greenwood situation. Let's go and see what the article is saying here. Greenwood has been suspended by United since January 2022, but this is what Ten Hag has said on him. He said, look, it's a club decision. Of course, I've had my say and I've had my opinions, but it's a club decision and we will have to accept that. I can't say so much about whether we'd like to keep him, but what I say is I shared my opinion. So let's see what's going to happen and what the decision will be. So we're going to find out at some point in the next 2 weeks, there will be a statement from Manchester United on Mason Greenwood. My hope is that it's a termination of contract and game, set, and match. But let's find out. The longer this has gone on, I personally feel the longer Manchester United will probably feel that they might be able to just kind of sneak it in, get away with it. I've always felt that a loan spell was probably the most likely outcome. I still kind of feel that. But we'll know in the next 2 weeks. As I said, I've avoided doing any sort of videos on it because I think speculation around something like this, it's just dangerous. Don't do it, right? Don't speculate over this. But yeah, we're going to be getting actual confirmation on what's going on with the Mason Greenwood situation in the next 2 weeks, right? And an update on Kobbie Mainoo as well, right? He's going to be missing the start of the season. He went off with that injury against Real Madrid, and it was just like Rodrigo went all of his full weight, falling at pace onto his ankle. It didn't look very good. And Kobbie Mainoo went off head in hands. He's going to miss the start of the season. We don't know how much of the season he's going to be missing, but he certainly won't be ready for the Wolves game. And I imagine if it's an ankle ligament injury, which by the sounds of it is, they normally take, 6 to 8 weeks? There or thereabouts. So maybe we won't see Kobbie for August. You might get him back in October. You can only speculate on that, right? You can only speculate on that. But Kobbie Mainoo is going to be missing the start of the season, which is such a. I hate it when injuries. I suppose it's part and parcel of being an elite level athlete, right? Injuries happen, okay? It's part of the game. You have to deal with it. But I hate seeing it when it comes to younger players because it's such an important time for their development, and it's just a massive shame. It's just a massive, massive shame. Axel Tuanzebe is another one that I really felt for injury-wise. Fosu Mensah, I think there was a point where he had real promise and injuries got in the way of him. James Wilson, Will Keane was a big one. I think just after we won the FA Youth Cup last time, I think Will Keane had been called up into the pre-season tour squad and he went away on England duty and did his ACL. And then Will Keane just sort of disappeared into the ether. It's a real shame because it can A big injury to a younger player at the wrong time can really change the path that they are on. Because United, as much as we want Kobbie Mainoo to come in, if he gets injured for that long, we're going to have to start looking elsewhere, aren't we? Let's find out. Last couple of minutes of the show, you know what it is. That was an interesting show. I'm going to drop this down here. I'm going to say it one more time because today is the final day. This is being closed, and then tomorrow we're announcing the new raffle prize, which again is an absolute corker. Every single month we're doing really top quality raffle prizes. This one here, of course, is 700 quid towards your holiday. Now, a quick summary of the show. I mean, there's too much to summarize, really. Manchester United announcing an extra 10-year contract extension with Adidas. That's big. We spoke about the game yesterday in Ten Hag's comments. We spoke about Andre Onana's performance, and we spoke about, of course, Rasmus Hojlund, then about Amrabat, and then about all the potential player sales that could be happening. But last couple of minutes of the show, what are you saying in the comments? Everybody down here, right, talking about this. I will not be engaging in any sort of comment to and back and forth until I do my video, because you shouldn't do it. It's the whole situation from the very beginning has been absolutely grim for everybody involved. Absolutely everybody involved. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, at the very least, there being some sort of clarity on what's gone on, and then we can have a conversation about it. What are we saying down here? Do we try and buy Tony in January, says Jonathan? I suppose we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, does his ban run out in January? Is he just banned? I don't know. Don't know how long his ban goes on for. Let's find out how good Hojlund does. Oh man, I'm so excited to see Hojlund. Will his debut come on Saturday? I hope so. Might have to get my phone out and watch the game in a festival. But look, thank you all for tuning in. I apologize I'm grumpy today. Let me off. Should be back to normal tomorrow. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Everybody who gifted memberships and sent in super chats, you're all diamonds. A bit like Hojlund. See you soon.